The dedendum circle diameter is equal to wear pressure angle. A. Pitch circle dia. X cos. B. Addendum circle dia. X cos. C. Clearance circle dia. X cos. D. Pitch circle dia. X sin. The correct answer is pitch circle dia. X cos. The ratio of the maximum displacement of the forced vibration to the deflection due to the static force is known as A. Damping factor. B. Damping coefficient. C. Logarithmic decrement. D. Magnification factor. The correct answer is magnification factor. The tractive force is maximum or minimum when the angle of inclination of crank with the line of stroke is equal to A. 0 and 90, B. 90 and 180, C. 135 and 315, D. 270 and 360. The correct answer is 90 and 180. A point on a connecting link excluding endpoints of a double slider crank mechanism traces A. Straight line path, B. Hyperbolic path, C. Parabolic path, D. Elliptical path. The correct answer is elliptical path. The coefficient of friction is the ratio of the limiting friction to the normal reaction between the two bodies. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct. Which of the following governor is used to drive a gramophone? A. Watt governor. B. Porter governor. C. Pickering governor. D. Hartnell governor. The correct answer is Pickering governor. In locomotives, the ratio of the connecting rod length to crank radius is kept very large in order to A. Minimize the effect of primary forces. B. Minimize the effect of secondary forces. C. Have perfect balancing. D. To start the locomotive quickly. The correct answer is minimize the effect of secondary forces. The ball and socket joint is an example of screw pair. A. Agree. B. Disagree. C. D. The correct answer is disagree. A friction circle is a circle drawn when a journal rotates in a bearing. Its radius depends upon the coefficient of friction and the A. Magnitude of the forces on journal, B. Angular velocity of journal, C. Clearance between journal and bearing, D. Radius of journal. The correct answer is radius of journal. Which of the following statement is wrong? A. The difference between the maximum and minimum energies is called maximum fluctuation of energy. B. The coefficient of fluctuation of speed is the ratio of maximum fluctuation of speed to the mean speed. C. The variations of energy above and below the mean resisting torque line is known as fluctuation of energy. D. None of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. The relation between the controlling force Fc and radius of rotation r for a stable spring-controlled governor is A. Fc/Arb, B. Fc/Arb, C. Fc/Ar, D. Fc/Arb. The correct answer is Fc/Arb. ABCD is a 4-bar mechanism in which AB 310 mm and CD 450 mm. AB and CD are both perpendicular to the fixed link AD as shown in the below figure. If the velocity of B at this condition is v, then the velocity of C is AV, BV, CV, DV. The correct answer is V. A rotary internal combustion engine has cylinders A4, B5, C6, D7. The correct answer is 7. The power transmitted by a belt is maximum when the maximum tension in the belt is of centrifugal tension. A 1/3, B 2/3, C double. D. 3 times. The correct answer is 3 times. The component of the acceleration perpendicular to the velocity of the particle at the given instant is called A. Radial component, B. Tangential component, C. Coriolis component, D. None of these. The correct answer is radial component. The interference may only be avoided if the addendum circles of the two mating gears cut the common tangent to the base circles between the points of tangency. A. True, B. False, C. D. The correct answer is true. Pitch point of a cam is A point on the pitch curve having minimum pressure angle, B. A point on the pitch curve having maximum pressure angle, C. Any point on the pitch curve, D. Any point on the pitch circle. The correct answer is a point on the pitch curve having maximum pressure angle. A torsional system with discs of moment of inertia I1 and I2 as shown in the below figure is gear driven such that the ratio of speed of shaft B to shaft A is G. Neglecting the inertia of gears, the equivalent inertia of disc on shaft B at the speed of shaft A is equal to AG, I2, BG2, I2, C I2G, D I2G2. The correct answer is G2, I2. A spring-controlled governor is said to be isochronous when the controlling force A increases as the radius of rotation decreases, B increases as the radius of rotation increases, C decreases as the radius of rotation increases, D remains constant for all radii of rotation. The correct answer is remains constant for all radii of rotation. In a steam engine, one method of obtaining the earlier cutoff with a simple slide valve is by increasing the angle of advance of the eccentric while the throw of the eccentric steam lap and exhaust lap are kept constant. This method will A. Cause withdrawing or throttling of steam, B. Reduce length of effective stroke of piston, C. Reduce maximum opening of port to steam, D. All of these. The correct answer is reduce length of effective stroke of piston. The equation of motion for a vibrating system with viscous damping is if the roots of the equation are complex conjugate, then the system will be critically damped. A. Yes, B. No, C. D. The correct answer is no. The critical speed of a shaft depends upon its A. Mass, B. Stiffness, C. Mass and stiffness, D. Stiffness and eccentricity. The correct answer is mass and stiffness. Which of the following mechanism is an approximate straight line motion mechanism? A. Watt's mechanism, B. Grasshopper mechanism, C. Roberts mechanism, D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. A shaft carrying two rotors at its ends will have A. No node, B. 1 node, C. 2 nodes, D. 3 nodes. The correct answer is 1 node. When a mass of a critically damped single degree of freedom system is deflected from its equilibrium position and released, then it will A. Return to equilibrium position without oscillation, B. Oscillate with increasing time period, C. Oscillate with decreasing amplitude, D. Oscillate with constant amplitude. The correct answer is oscillate with increasing time period. The friction experienced by a body when at rest is known as static friction. A. Yes, B. No, C. D. The correct answer is yes. When the particles of a body moves perpendicular to its axis, then the body is said to have A. Longitudinal vibration, B. Transverse vibration, C. Torsional vibration, D. None of these. The correct answer is transverse vibration. A sliding pair has a completely constrained motion. A. Yes. B. No. C. D. The correct answer is yes. Power of a governor is the A. Mean force exerted at the sleeve for a given percentage change of speed. B. Work done at the sleeve for maximum equilibrium speed. C. Mean force exerted at the sleeve for maximum equilibrium speed. D. None of the above. The correct answer is none of the above. The power from the engine to the rear axle of an automobile is transmitted by means of A. Worm and worm wheel. B. Spur gears. C. Bevel gears. D. Hooks joint. The correct answer is hooks joint. A flywheel is used to control the mean speed of an engine caused by the variations in load. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is incorrect. A slider moves at a velocity v on a link revolving at rad s. The Coriolis component of acceleration is A. V. B. 2v. C. 2v. D. 2v2. The correct answer is 2v. In a reciprocating steam engine, which of the following forms a kinematic link? A. Cylinder and piston. B. Piston rod and connecting rod. C. Crankshaft and flywheel. D. Flywheel and engine frame. The correct answer is crankshaft and flywheel. The maximum velocity of a particle moving with simple harmonic motion is A. Br. C. 2r. Dr. The correct answer is R. The frictional torque transmitted in a truncated conical pivot bearing considering uniform wear is A. W cosec R1 R2. B. W cosec R1 R2. C. W cosec. D. W cosec. The correct answer is W cosec R1 R2. When the tip of a tooth undercuts the root on its mating gear, it is known as interference. A. Agree. B. Disagree. C. D. The correct answer is agree. Under logarithmic decrement, the amplitude of successive vibrations are A. Constant. B. In arithmetic progression. C. In geometric progression. D. In logarithmic progression. The correct answer is in geometric progression. The efficiency of a screw jack is maximum when wear helix angle and angle of friction. A. 45. B. 45. C. 90. D. 90. The correct answer is 45. A fixed gear having 200 teeth is in mesh with another gear having 50 teeth. The two gears are connected by an arm. The number of turns made by the smaller gear for one revolution of arm about the center of bigger gear is A. 2. B. 3. C. 4. D. 5. The correct answer is 5. In a cone pulley, if the sum of radii of the pulleys on the driving and driven shafts is constant, then A. Open belt drive is recommended. B. Crossed belt drive is recommended. C. Both open belt drive and crossed belt drive is recommended. D. The drive is recommended depending upon the torque transmitted. The correct answer is crossed belt drive is recommended. When the connection between the elements forming a pair is such that the constrained motion is not completed by itself but by some other means, the motion is said to be a completely constrained motion. A. Yes. B. No. C. D. The correct answer is no. In gears, interference takes place when the tip of a tooth of a mating gear digs into the portion between base and root circles. B. Gears do not move smoothly in the absence of lubrication. C. Pitch of the gears is not same. D. Gear teeth are undercut. The correct answer is the tip of a tooth of a mating gear digs into the portion between base and root circles. The ratio of maximum fluctuation of speed to the mean speed is called A. Fluctuation of speed, B. Maximum fluctuation of speed, C. Coefficient of fluctuation of speed, D. None of these. The correct answer is coefficient of fluctuation of speed. Which of the following statement is correct for involute gas? A. The interference is inherently absent. B. The variation in center distance of shafts increases radial force. C. A convex flank is always in contact with concave flank. D. The pressure angle is constant throughout the teeth engagement. The correct answer is the pressure angle is constant throughout the teeth engagement.